So, good evening, everyone, once again. And today I'm going to take you through something powerful, the inner monk method, behavioral mastery for modern life. Actually, this is inspired by the teachings from the monk who sold his Ferrari, the famous best-selling author by Robin Sharma. And the session can will help you to learn how to think with clarity, or it can put you in little thought-provoking state. Act with confidence and live with balance. So let's start. Here is what you're going to get today: the six inner monk principles, the real life behavioral tools, mini exercises or small habits which you can start doing, and a 30-day action plan which you can start from tomorrow or by from night. Behavioral mastery. We learned from the Julian Mantle, the character in that book, a top lawyer with success, money, fame, but zero peace. His breakdown pushed him to seek wisdom in Himalayas. There, the monks taught him rituals, habits, and behavioral practices that changed his life forever. And today, I'm going to simplify and bring those practices into modern lifestyle so you can perform at your best without losing your peace. Before we begin, I just 1 to 10 in these areas, or you can choose your areas for that matter. First is focus, discipline, emotional control, time management, purpose, consistency, and positivity. 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. You can rate yourself, or just pick up any 5 areas and you can rate yourself. Then let's understand the first principle, which is mastering your mind. Because your mind is a garden. You choose what it grows: negative thoughts, negative behavior; positive thoughts, productive behavior or positive behavior. Now let's do a 1 minute activity right now. Choose any object around you. Either it can be your pen, your water bottle, or whatever object you find, near you. Focus only on that object. If your mind starts wander, gently bring it back. This is the heart of the rose technique from the book. Just 1 minute a day improves your focus, your emotional control, and your behavioral response. Second principle is live with purpose. Because without purpose, behavior becomes confused. Purpose gives meaning, and meaning gives direction, and direction shapes your behavior. If you have a pen and paper with you, just write this one sentence: I exist to dash. Whatever comes in your mind, you can just fill in the blanks. Trust whatever comes, your inner lighthouse. When your behavior aligns with your purpose, your becomes calm, focused, and powerful. Or it can be whatever, it can be your purpose, it can be what you're here for, whatever it is. Maybe you might have one adjective or one word that describe your purpose very well. It can be that. The third principle is practice Kaizen. In simple language, it's which is a behavior anchor, which is 1% daily improvement. Actually, this is one of my favorites because Kaizen means small daily improvements, not big dramatic changes, just tiny upgrades. Ask yourself, what's that one behavior I can improve by 1% today? Maybe it's just listening. Maybe it's just patience. Maybe It's just speaking calmly, maybe focusing for 10 minutes longer. Maybe you can write this down. You can write this one small improvement which you want to create. This 1% shift every day will create that 100% of transformation. Principle number 4, building unbreakable discipline. You and I both know nothing changes without discipline. Discipline is not harsh, discipline is self love in action. Let me give you 5 simple rituals which you can start today. Waking up 15 minutes earlier, maybe moving your body, maybe it can be through the form of yoga, maybe it can be a form of, going to gym, maybe, or reading just 10 pages of a book, or journaling, or just sitting in silence for a few minutes. These rituals are not motivation, they are behavioral anchors. They shape the way you think, react, or respond and live. Fifth principle, mastering your time or master your time. Because your time is your life, how you use it determines who you become. Let me give you the simple tool. Maybe you must have heard it in a different form of 80-20 principle, but here it talks of the 60-20 rule, where you do 60 minutes of deep work and 20 minutes of rest or renewal. Because this boosts your productivity and reduces your stress and sharpens your focus. Maybe you can start thinking what is that one time waster you will remove today? Because this small elimination will upgrade your behavior more than adding 10 new habits on your list. Next principle is the power of service. Inner monks knows one truth. Greatness comes from serving others. Because kindness is not weakness, it's behavioral strength. When you help others, your confidence grows, your insecurities melts, your behavior becomes a magnet. Write down 3 people you will want to appreciate or support today. It can be through a message, a compliment, a small help, or anything, whatever comes in your mind. So, before I go and give you a 30-day kind of an action plan, or 30 days, different activities, different habits, is there anything you would like to start, or is there anything you would like to change, or is there anything, okay, I am already doing it, but then I just want to maintain the consistency? Might be that might be that because we different individuals have different ways of doing different things. Maybe Harnat sir will have his own way, Prem sir will have a, Shabana ma'am will have her own way of doing. But then sometimes, is it more of you working on your consistency level? It can be that. I'm just going to give you a couple of ideas here as to, what are the certain things you can start with. It can be as simple as 1 minute mind focus, not just an object. Maybe you sitting and staring lighting lamp, the lamp which has already been lit, focusing on that one point, sitting in that silence for 2 to 5 minutes, or it can be just journaling down your thoughts, or it can be reading. You can add certain things into your list. Do this for uh, at least 21 days, if not 30 days, because that becomes your behavior, your confidence, and your mindset will start transforming. Why I chose this, when I was reading this book, there were certain instances where, or certain situations where, you know, uh, there are a lot of things which we become conscious about, but we never don't take that action step. Many a time we don't take that action step, not because we don't. Sometimes it's just that, okay, why to work with this right now? Let me work with it later. Or might be we don't have the time. Sometimes we have to make the time for things to work, right? So let me just repeat the six principles which we discussed. One is mastering your mind. Second is living with purpose. Third is practicing kaizen. Fourth is building unbreakable discipline. Fifth is mastering your time. Sixth is your power of service. Now, I want to take a deep breath and either place your hand on your heart and answer this one question for yourself. What is that one behavior will I commit to for the next 30 days? Write it down somewhere, or if you want accountability, you can let me know. See, many a times we decide a lot of things, but due to certain reasons, we may not be able to do it. Because somehow this is my understanding. Motivation has been spoken a lot, but discipline is so much, it's underrated. It is underrated. When does something becomes a big ocean? When you keep adding the small droplets of water, it becomes a big ocean one day. Maybe not in that one, oh, it's not an overnight success which we start thinking of. Before I go forward, how many of you have here have read that book? Shabana ma'am, Prem sir has read. What is your thought?
Yeah, the same by Robin Sharma, you mean? Which book? Sorry,
Yes,
I
the monk who sold his Ferrari.
yeah, I read it long time back, but yeah, it was really wonderful. So it actually it motivates in many different ways. I think Harmeet, would like to share.
Oh, man. Uh, I
Hi,
I
Harmit
read it
sir.
long back. Hi, ma'am. Good evening. I read it a long
Good evening.
time back, and at that point of time, I read it. It had a certain meaning with my, having lived my life the way I have lived. Uh,
Okay.
I do not kind of. I'm not saying the book is right, wrong, or good or bad. I'm simply saying that my own understanding does not comprehend with what Robin says, because Robin's whole basis of that book is about renunciation to become monk. Okay. Uh, while I look at the fact that and I'm talking about myself, is you don't need to be a monk to renunciation. You actually can be a monk on the battlefield. So
Great.
uh, that's where the whole perspective from my side and what Robin says in his book differs. Because what happens is there can be a monk and a warrior, and there can be a monk who's not a warrior. So the question is, if you're actually giving out that logic to somebody who's not a warrior, it makes sense. But if somebody who is a leader or a warrior who thrives in crisis, like I do, then for me, I'm not the person who becomes a monk in renunciation. I'm the monk who actually brings the strategy, the calmness, and the chaos. So the
True,
calmness in
true,
the
true.
chaos is also a sign of a monk.
Definitely, definitely.
So that's the huge difference between that book. So somebody is on that path. What again happens is, uh, and which is something I've again and again said with a lot of stuff. A lot of these things, what Robin is saying is from his perspective as he sees life, right? Which is fair, which is absolutely right. But human beings are of different hues, colors, and shades, and they've gone through different paradigms and in their journey in life. Now, what makes sense for Robin can probably make sense to about 100,000 or a million people, but necessarily not 10 million people, because there's so many different variations within the human emotions and journey that you need to actually find your own monk. Some is for renunciation. Some say, listen, I am here to enjoy abundance, but I'm not attached to that abundance. Right? So the detachment is not from by running away from abundance, by being in abundance, yet being detached from it. So that's my point.
Premsa, you are about to say something? He's smiling.
No, because yeah, I've read many books. Yeah, I do that on a consistently. But how I do it is I write down. I co-author the book myself. If I, for example, if I read Ziegler or Robin Sharma, I will write what he's saying, what strikes me, how does my life shape. So I condense the books. So even though I'm listening to this, um, like I'll write down here, like Harming G is telling something, I'll write down. I'll take a point here. Then after I read the book, the chapters, I try to understand how it applies to my life. So in that way, I found that as time went by, I became more and more introspective. Even within me, I was trying to discover who's Prem, what makes Prem tick. Why Prem doesn't get angry, or if he gets angry, he doesn't want to keep the anger. He wants to move on. Because I find that I don't want to waste time on petty things. I want to get something that will fulfill my innermost questions and a lot of. I'm very curious, so I want to experience life. I want to see what if somebody says monk, what does it mean? Because I live a very monk kind of life. If one is to say that, uh, my waking hours, my movement throughout the day is very monk-like.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. See, we all have our own ways of dealing, going through the day, the practices which we follow, how Harvitsa was saying. We have our own perspectives. Maybe the same book which inspired, the same book which I was talking today, different people will have different, perspectives to it. And somewhere we need to start respecting that. So, yes, maybe for Harmit sir, it is like he finds that calmness even in that chaos. For you, it is a different, for you, everyday practices itself is like, you're living like a monk, like you said right now. So, yes, see, at the end of the day, it's about you being grounded, you being centered, and where you still keep building your inner monk. So, that's about it. Shabana ma'am, would you like to add something? No?
No, I don't want to add, but yeah, I think it's a good reminder. Like, I think uh, and I think from time to time we need to think about these things, because I think sometimes we are like, we follow certain things, but like when you read the book, you get inspired in a way, and then you do it for some time. And then again, you need a reminder, because then you get busy and then you forget most of it. So
True.
anyway, we have limited mental power, so we retain, very small portion of what we learn every day. So I think,
No, majorly things happens on an autopilot. We don't become aware about a lot of things.
yeah.
Yes. Yes, Arnab sir.
One quick small point, ma'am.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
You raised a very nice point about discipline. One more point on the discipline is uh, discipline is a second skin.
Agreed.
Discipline cannot be a chore written over a period of time, because what happens is when you put it as a chore, it is a chore. And something, if you do not make it a second skin, it doesn't become something you like or you're enjoying from uh, inside. It's not discipline, it's just that you're trying to inculcate it. जैसे वो होता है ना, नवरात्रे में 9 दिन के हमने फास्ट करना है, बट हिम्मत नहीं होती करने की, तो 9 दिन कर लिया और दुनिया को बताया कि it's discipline. It's not discipline, it's just that you committed to those 9 days of chore and you did it, even if you did it out of absolute honesty to the point. But the point is, you just don't have discipline. Is where you say you're not bothered about the outcome. Discipline is when it becomes second skin. It's just part of you. So the problem that I have with that theory is either you're disciplined or you can't be disciplined. So somebody who doesn't have the capability to get up at 5 in the morning but gets up at 8, now if you keep telling him to get up at 5, he might do it for 15, 20 days, but his whole personality will reject it again and again. So at some point in time, he or she from internally will be unhappy with the whole idea. So for him or her, they need to find the discipline even in getting up at 8 o'clock. You're getting my point? I mean,
Yes.
if we start typecasting, listen, you got to get up at 5, you got to have a meticulous this. Now, for let's say somebody like me, it's normal. I don't see that कि यार 5 बजे 4 बजे उठना है, ऐसे करना है. Because it's normal for me. It's not a burden on my ecosystem. I enjoy doing it. That discipline is a part of my whole nature or my aura or my personality. But if you've not done that all your life, and all once and fine day at the age of 50, you get up and say, now I'm going to do this. Some people will probably inculcate that and start enjoying it and say, you know what, I haven't done this, I'm enjoying this. And slowly it'll become second or even first nature. But majority of the people I've seen, they have a burnout because वो कहते हैं यार मैं थक गया. So something that I would want you to ponder on and kind of give your view on that.
I agree with what you say. For certain days that momentum goes, and certain days, as you rightly said, their personality starts rejecting because their natural this thing is to get up at 8 o'clock. And we keep telling them you get up at 5 or you get up at 6. Again, it's go for 10, 15 days. And even after some point that your body starts rejecting it because your natural rhythm is to get up at 8.
Absolutely.
I agree with you on that, sir. Completely. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I can share on that because I'm one of those persons. So, who often decide to get up early in the morning. I put all the alarms, but I keep on snoozing. So I get up quite a few times to snooze my alarms. But I think it also depends, I think getting up early in the morning depend on the task that you have to do. So if you have certain work, then you don't need an alarm. You suddenly wake up, you do everything. But if it's a normal day, no matter how many books you read, you are keep snoozing the alarm.
The reason I actually bought this idea is because I got a 17-year-old daughter. So for the longest, she was very inactive. She would sleep and she didn't work out and she would not work. But last 5 months, all of a sudden, I said no, because she's got to go to college and she's got to go abroad. I said, I'm not sending you abroad till you get absolutely like an athlete and you get into a rhythm. And I put her to the test. And all of a sudden, a girl who would ideally not wake up till about 10 is up at 5:30 with me. And now she's pushing her old father to make sure that we're in the gym, we're working out. And it has become a habit for her. While it didn't happen at the age of 10, it happened at the age of 17 for her. But she's grown to like it. I can now sense that it's not something she's doing because she has to do. All of a sudden, she's realized, you know what? I haven't done this, but now I'm enjoying doing this. I want to get up at 5:30. I want to sleep early. I want to go to the gym because now when I look in the mirror, I see a changed person. I change, and it's not a changed person physically. She likes what she sees in terms of the person she is mentally, right? And that is kind of aiding that discipline. So, it's worked for her. For a lot of people, it might not work. It might work for a month or a 2 or a 3, and then, it's a burnout. I'm like, done. I don't want to. So, yeah, I mean, I get burned out. I've been going to the gym for 32 years every day. So there are days and I'm like, okay, 3 days I'm going to take rest. But the moment I take rest for 3 days and I'm not going in the morning, my system starts rejecting those 3 days because my entire ecosystem is is about. I mean, even on the rest day, even if I'm not going to the gym, I'm still up at 5 because that's my natural clock, right? But I'm not going to the gym because I'm giving my body rest. But after 3 days, I have to go back. It's just I have to. And I can see that with my daughter. "Ki, "Acha, Papa, I want to rest for 2 days." I said, no problem, but take a break. Your body needs rest. If you don't feel, that means the body is sending a signal that you need to recuperate. But I've seen that after 2 days, no dad, now it's Monday, we got to hit back the gym. So, you know, uh, some will pick it up and make it their second skin or the first skin. Some will say, yeah, listen, I think I gave it a try. I gave it an honest effort for 4 or 5 months. It's not my cup of tea, which is fair enough. And probably they'll find another path. So that's where, personally, I saw it with my own daughter. And that's the logic I actually put when I explained it out to you.
I think it also has to deal with when your subconscious mind actually, accepts it and you are habituated to
Absolutely.
it. Because
Absolutely.
now I have this feeling for meditation. If I don't do it, I feel like, something major is missing out of my life. So it's like suddenly, but which was not always, natural. So I never used to do it. So I think it depends what you pick up. And
Absolutely. Absolutely, Shabna.
Thank you so much for sharing that, sir. Beyond. So it's about being grounded. It's about you finding your own ways of doing things. That's where everything starts. So with that, thank you everyone, and over to Shabana.
yeah, thank you, Darshini. Premji, Rajvin, do you want to share?
Nice topic. Yeah, I've got in absolute bliss because I I feel like everything is energy and everything is like gratitude. It's like the science of because if we because I have been actually spotlighted for my work in Malaysia under the special needs education. Uh, I got spotlighted under the government of Malaysia, and it's absolute honor. Like it's absolute honor. Then 2 days ago, 2 days ago, internet internet got down on me and got down this whole area on me, and I whatever challenges it had put me through, I feel that life is great. With life puts you through the hardest time. Life puts you through pain. Life puts you through because I didn't go for hypnotherapy because I was very busy at conference. I was very busy with preparation of conference, and my hypnotherapist is away. Hence, I get the pain. I feel energy is different. body aches for not working too much and not doing hypnotherapy and not able to like relax myself in the normal way. But life is great. So, what you were talking today about the mantra of life, the science of um how life works in general. I'm not sure what's the title. I just got back from my phone today, but it is very, very apt for me because because I can be when someone gets angry around me, I feel the pain and I feel empathy. I don't get ang I I feel empathy for the person because um especially when my parents get angry with each other or parents get angry with caregiver, I feel empathy because I need them. But yeah, life is good. Like they say in Punjabi, they said life is anand, life is chardi kala. Life hits you, life any life gives you a punch in your face, but it's okay. You have hypnotherapy, you have everything to keep you going. Thanks.
Thank you, Rajin, for sharing. And yeah, thank you, Darshini. And it was really a wonderful session. And